What up? What up? What up? Boxing fans across the world. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's True Grit Boxing News. Checking in with another video. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Turn your bell notification to all. And follow me and support the grind as I bring you this exclusive boxing news from a True Grit Boxing News perspective on a daily basis, guys. So we definitely got to jump right in and talk about this fight that we had last night between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach. First of all, guys, let me let y'all weigh in. Comment down below. Let me know who you feel won this fight last night, guys. Let me know what you think the outcome was. Now, we know we got a draw with the scorecards reading 115, 113 for Tank. And then the last two judges scored it 114, 114 each to make it a majority decision draw. If you feel like the fight was a draw, comment down below. If you feel like Roach won, comment down below. If you feel like Tank won, comment down below. But let's get into the facts of the fight. So, in this fight, honestly, guys, I'm going to be 100% honest. I didn't expect the fight to go the way that it went. You know, I'm a Tank fan as well, you know, and I support all good fighters and any fighter that gets in the ring. But in my opinion, I didn't feel like Lamont Roach was going to present anything that Tank wasn't going to be able to deal with. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. Lamont Roach definitely put on a great performance tonight. Had a great game plan. And he stuck to it. He stuck to it. In the chess match, Lamont Roach's game plan was better than Tank's, in my opinion. Lamont Roach displayed great defense. He was catching a lot of Tank's punches, and he was ready to fire in between Tank's punches, and he was definitely catching Tank. Even appears that he hurt Tank at least twice in that fight from what I saw, with great left hook punches. It just seemed like Tank never really got into a rhythm. I thought that it was going to be a point in the fight where Tank would download the information like he always does, make an adjustment, and then eventually get the knockout. That just did not happen last night, guys. That did not happen. And that is due to Lamont Roach's discipline and him staying tight defensively and executing the game plan that was worked on in training camp. You know, I got to take my hat off to Lamont Roach, man. I got to give much love and much respect to Lamont Roach because, like I said, I didn't really give Lamont Roach too much of a chance to win this fight. Him coming up from 130 pounds, you know, I just didn't think that he was going to be able to bring anything to the table that Tank wasn't able to deal with. And like I said a little while ago, boy, was I wrong. Lamont Roach put on a boxing clinic tonight. Lamont Roach, he threw more punches than Tank. He landed more punches than Tank. In the power punch category, it was just about even. He landed more jabs than Tank, right? It's just Lamont Roach, in my opinion, Lamont Roach deserved to win this fight last night. You know, and of course, we're going to have a lot of naysayers. We're going to have a lot of people that's going to say, oh, you got to go in there and really beat the champion. No, you don't. You have to go in there and win the fight, okay? I hate that old moniker of, you know, to beat the champ, you got to basically, you know what I'm saying? He got to be just discombobulated dead in the ring almost. That's not true, man. All you have to do is go in there, put on a boxing performance like Lamont Roach did, and you should come out the victor, you know? I mean, it's just nothing around that, you know? It's no way to get around that if you go in that ring and you beat a guy, whether you knock him down, whether you close his eyes up, if you go in there and you win, you should win, period. And I feel like that fight should have been given to the real winner, which was Lamont Roach, man. I feel like it was a close fight, but I feel like 115, 113, Roach definitely could have went. And if the knockdown was scored, 116, 112 should have been the score. Now let's talk about this knockdown, right? Let's talk about the fact that I believe it was the 9th round. Gervonta Tank Davis takes a knee after getting punched as well. A punch was definitely thrown. And he takes a knee, goes to his corner, gets his face wiped. The referee, Steve Willis, he begins to count and stops. And then he lets the fight go on without calling that a knockdown, guys. That right there could have also pushed Lamont Roach over the edge. Well, I'm not going to say could have. It would have. Looking at the scorecards, if the judges continued to score the fight the way that they were scoring it, if that knockdown was counted, then Lamont Roach would have won on their scorecards, 115-113. The last two judges would have had it 115-113, and the judge that had Tank winning would have been 114-114. So he would have won in a majority decision. Lamont Roach would have, but that is very interesting to me that Tank, was showed favoritism tonight. We got to call a spade a spade. Tank Davis was showed favoritism tonight with that knockdown not being scored, not being called. I mean, let's just talk the real, guys. I mean, I'm a Tank fan just like you guys are, but yeah, that should have been scored a knockdown. We can go back to Floyd Mayweather, just using an example, right? Floyd Mayweather's only real knockdown on his resume came at the hands of him taking a knee in a fight, right? He was fighting, I can't remember the opponent right off the top of my head right now. I have to look it up. But Floyd Mayweather was in a fight, and he hurt his hand. He threw a punch, hurt his hand. I don't know if he broke it, but we all know Floyd has had hand problems throughout his whole career. He throws a punch, he hits his opponent, hurts his hand. He takes a knee. Floyd Mayweather takes a knee. He gets up, he's shaking his hand, he's grimacing about his hand. The ref gives him a standing 8 count. The right call. You cannot, guys, this is not basketball. This is not football. You cannot call timeout in the middle of the fight. I don't care if you got hair grease leaking into your eye. It's been fighters had blood running all in their eyes. It's been fighters who Achilles have been broken in a fight. Tank and Gamboa. It's been fights where guys been split open. There's never been a time that a fighter can just call timeout and go to the corner and get his face wiped off so he can continue to fight. If you take a knee, that should be ruled a knockdown. So the ref definitely dropped the ball on that. And Steve Willis is a very good referee. Like I said, he started the count, then I don't know why he decided not to. To me, that looks like politics of the sport of boxing right there, because there's no way you can justify that not being a knockdown. That 100% should have been scored as a knockdown, and that should have been a 10-8 round. Regardless, the referee should have called it a knockdown, and the judges, once it's called a knockdown, the judges have to score it 10-8. They don't have the discretion to say, oh, we're not going to score the knockdown. If the referee in the ring scores it a knockdown, the judges have to score it on their scorecards as one. Period. So I'm seeing a lot of people with their opinion about this knockdown. That was a knockdown, guys, period. You can't call timeout in boxing. There's no timeout. You know what I'm saying? You don't get 3 timeouts to call. You don't get 1 timeout to call. You get no timeouts to call. So yeah, that should have definitely been called a knockdown, and it just shows some of the politics of the sport of boxing. And like I said earlier, Lamont Roach, he out-threw Tank. They almost matched in the power category. I think Tank only landed, about 5 more power shots, 5 or 6 more power shots than Roach. And then Roach out-jabbed him, and he threw more, landed more. Man, Roach was hitting Tank with clean counters. I never even saw Roach rattled, hurt, stumbled at all. But we saw Roach land a left hook on Tank and sent him reeling backwards, stumbling, eyes wide open, buzzed, guys. Nobody wants to see the top dog lose, especially when you don't think he's gonna lose. But hey, this is the sport of boxing, man. And in my opinion, Tank lost that fight last night. Tank should have a loss on his resume last night, in all honesty. Now, I'm sure that we're going to get a rematch in this fight, and who knows, the rematch may look different But I will say, Lamont Roach definitely gave the blueprint on how to beat Tank. He definitely gave the blueprint. Tight defense, in which that's something that Eastside Pitbull Cruz had as well when he fought Tank, which was a fight that a lot of people had a little controversy in. Now, I didn't have controversy. I believe Tank beat Eastside. But just speaking on the defensive aspect, Eastside Pitbull Cruz defense was very tight as well. Very tight. Didn't allow Tank to really land anything big. And that's the same thing that Lamont Roach did. Defense very tight, but Lamont Roach was able to punch in between, punch with Tank, score, and hurt Gervonta Tank Davis, and should have gotten the victory tonight, or last night, guys. So that's my humble opinion here at True Grit Boxing News. Great fight. We should be looking forward to the rematch taking place, you know, and like I said, I was expecting Tank to come up with the dub, maybe even the knockout, and, you know, we all wanted to hear this call out that he was talking about he was going to do. You know, hopefully we were hoping to hear Shakur Stevenson's name being brought to the table, but Lamont Roach has shooken up the apple cart, guys. Lamont Roach has really thrown a knife in the whole game plan, because now it's yet to be determined if Tank can beat Roach, you know, and on any given night, any fighter can lose, and on any given night, you know, a fighter can come in there and just demolish somebody that you don't even expect. It happens all the time in the sport, you know, so we have to see, guys. We have to wait and see. So looking forward to the rematch. If the rematch gets made, then so be it. We'll have Lamont Roach, Gervonta Tank Davis too. There'll be even more buzz around that fight, around the second go round, because of the performance that Lamont Roach put on. Great night of boxing. Boxing shine last night. Over 19,000 fans in the stands. Biggest event for the Barclays Center. Good shit. Boxing definitely shine tonight, guys. So as I said earlier, man, if you stayed and watched the video this long, I definitely appreciate it. Please smash that like button. Subscribe to the grind. Subscribe to the channel. Continue to follow me. And also comment down below, guys. Let me know who you think won the fight last night. Do you think that it was a draw? Do you think Roach won? Do you think Tank won? Let me know. Peace.